Good day, everyone. Welcome to the defense of a feasibility study on the establishment of Black Soldier Fly Farm in San Jose, Batangas. The black soldier fly is a large fly that has a wasp-like appearance. It is ideally suited for food production due to its rapid production cycle and high concentration of protein. The high concentration of protein in the larvae makes them an ideal source of food for a wide variety of animals. Hence, this study aims to determine if the plan of establishing a black soldier fly farm in San Jose, Batangas would be viable and feasible. For Chapter 2, the market study, the nature of the business will be discussed. First one is the name of the business. Chixie Pro BSF Farm, whereas the word chicks is inspired by the target market of the BSF Farm, which is the poultry industry in San Jose, Batangas, and the word pro is from the word protein, which is nutrient that the BSF larvae are rich of. Moreover, since the Chixie Pro BSF farm will produce feeds from BSF larvae, the proponents named the product Chixie Pro BSF feeds. Next one is the properties of the product. The BSF larvae comprise up to 50% of protein, 35% fat, 6% calcium, 1.2% of phosphorus, 1% of magnesium, and 0.3% of sodium, making the BSF larvae considered and used as a high-quality protein and fat sources for poultry, because these are the two most significant ingredients in animal feeds. Third one is the uses of the product. Chixie Pro BSF feeds is used similarly with the commercial feeds available in the market. This product can be fed by mixing it to their current feed or giving it to chicken as it is. It will be beneficial to the poultry farmers of San Jose, Batangas, since its purpose is to give them a more nutritious feed for a good quality and fast growth of their chickens. Fourth one is the major users of the product. The major users of the Chixie Pro BSF feed are the poultry farms in the municipality of San Jose, Batangas. Therefore, there are a large number of users in the said area, particularly the small-scale and commercial poultry farms. The last part of the nature of the business is the geographical area of dispersion. So, in selecting where the business must be established, it is important to strategically identify the business area of dispersion. Since San Jose, Batangas has a total of 413 poultry farms, the proponents identify the area as a perfect location at where the farm should be established. These poultry farms are the target market of this business. Meanwhile, there are no identified existing BSF farms in the area which could be a competitor.
Next is the analysis of the market. The proponents use a variety of techniques to determine market demand for poultry feeds made from BSF larvae and to collect data and information to support the financial study. The condition of the general market was properly understood using various techniques. The number are drawn from the population of poultry farms in San Jose, Batangas as calculated by Slovin's formula, and the proponents came up to 203 respondents using Slovin's formula. Based from the survey, 152 out of 200 poultry farms are willing to avail the Chixie Pro BSF feeds, and that is 74.88% of the population. On the other hand, 51 out of 203 poultry farms are not willing to avail the products, which is 25.12% of the population. And for the demand is the amount of product that a target consumer wants to purchase at a given period of time with a willingness to pay a price for a specific good. The quality, content, and price of the product are some of the buying factors that may affect the decision of the consumers. And this is the historical demand of the BSF feeds. These values are identified by multiplying the population of the poultry farms, the percentages of organic feed users each year's average frequency of buying feeds, and average feeds they buy on every purchase. From this computed value, the proponents also multiply the willingness of the poultry farms to avail BSF feeds, which is 74.88%, and their amount of feeds they are willing to replace as BSF feeds, which is 23% of their current feeds. And this is the graphical representation of the historical demand. of the BSF feeds in the past 10 years. The graph shows an upward direction which indicates a growing demand for the BSF feeds. For the projected demand, the proponents came up to use the arithmetic straight line for the presentation of the demand in the next 10 years, since the method has the lowest standard deviation among the other method. And for the supply, there will be no supply in this case, as this will be the first business to have an organic feed supplement for chicken made from BSF ply. The unique quality and nutritional content with reasonable price will give satisfaction, thereby making the target market want to buy more. And for the analysis of the market, the value for the potential market are identified by getting the difference of the projected demand and the projected supply. Since there are no supply yet of the BSF feed in San Jose, Batangas, the value of the projected demand are also the value of the potential market. And for the market share was used to measure the percentage of the market's total sale of the business over time. It is used to calculate how much of a percentage share will be with Chixi Pro BSF Farm. In this case, the market share of the Chixi Pro BSF feed is 0.95% of the market, or 9,774 sacks, and this value are obtained based on the annual possible attainable production of BSF feeds. And for the price of the Chixi Pro BSF feeds, this amount are obtained by getting the quotient of the total working capital of the farm and the annual attainable production of the feeds. From that value, the proponents decide to add 25% markup, which gives us a price of the Chixi Pro BSF feeds per sack of 811 pesos. The market program. A market program is a strategy for presenting a business to a certain market or client. Because Chixi Pro BSF Farm is a new business, proponents will do market research, determine the target market, investigate the competition, and promote the product. And these are the logo of the farm and the Chixi Pro BSF feed. The proponents also decide to use a promotional poster to help the business in gaining customer and a calling card so the customer can easily contact the farm if they want to avail the product. Also, this is the design of the signboard of the farm that will be displayed in post in front of the farm. The proponents also decide to make a promotional partnership with a different poultry farms association on San Jose, Batangas. This strategy will be useful in Chixi Pro BSF Farm and the Poultry Farms Association.
For the Chapter 3, the technical study, the product. The proposed product is a unique kind of organic feed that will be sold and will be perceived to achieve well in the market as healthier feed and have good quality. Figure 12 shows the actual black soldier fly larvae look like. The grounded form of this BSF larvae is the product of the farm, which can serve as a feed supplement to the poultry feeds. Figure 13 shows the final product of Chixi Pro BSF feeds. The BSF feed is packed per sack, which has a 50 kilogram net. For the production process of Chixi Pro BSF feeds, it will start from the material preparation. After that, proceed in harvesting the BSF larvae. The harvested BSF larvae will be ready for drying. Next is grinding the BSF larvae. After grinding, the product will be ready for packaging. And lastly, storing the final product. And for the service process of Chixi Pro BSF Farm, Figure 15 shows the service process of Chixi Pro BSF Farm for rearing of the larvae where raw materials used in the production are obtained. The entire BSF service process consists of 12 major steps to be followed. It includes the cycle in processing the BSF egg until adulting stage. The 75% harvested BSF larvae will be used for the production of BSF feeds, and the remaining 25% will continue its cycle for reproduction. Figure 16 shows the service of purchasing process of Chixi Pro BSF feeds. wherein the first process starts from the arrival of the customer, then he or she will proceed to the customer service area. Upon proceeding to the service area, the staff will entertain the customer to obtain the order. After that, it will undergo the payment and receipt process. Then, the next is the order for fulfillment, where there are two choices whether the product will be delivered or picked up. And figure 17 shows the flowchart of the production process of Chixi Pro BSF farm. The process starts by checking the materials needed for the production. Next thing to do is to go to the larvae area 25 meters away from the storage area, which will take a minute. After that, check the date of the container if the larvae are ready for harvesting. Next one is to transfer the larvae to the processing area for it to be strained. Straining the harvested BSF larvae to remove its pus will take 25 minutes. Still in the processing area, weigh the BSF larvae in 10 minutes and separate the 25% BSF larvae. Then, transfer the 25% BSF larvae to the dark room that would take 1.5 minutes, which is 30 meters away from the processing area. Going back to the processing area, get the 75% BSF larvae and transfer it to the solar drying area, which is 10 meters away from the processing area. Next thing to do is to lay the BSF larvae to the plywood to dry and collect the dried BSF larvae from the past days. Go to the processing area to put the dried BSF larvae in the grinding machine and collect. After grinding, proceed to the packaging area to weigh and pack the ground BSF larvae. Lastly, store the BSF feeds in the storage area, which is 15 meters away from the packaging area.
Next is the schedule. Production schedule refers to the production operations required for the manufacturing of Chixi Pro BSF feeds. It includes the number of products that must be produced during the manufacturing process for every given resource and creating formal plans for the entire production. The production is expected to run for 298 days every year on a regular year, assuming all the holidays are in the production's working days and 299 days on a leap year. Table 9 Farm Machine and Equipment Direct. Table 9 shows the direct machinery and equipment for the operation of the farm to produce its product, which is the Chixi Pro BSF feed. It is indicated in the table that the unit cost and the quantity for each particulars. An amount of 262,517.59 is the total cost of the machinery and the equipment. Next is the Table 11. Table 11 shows the farm's indirect machinery and equipment used to manufacture the Chixi Pro BSF feed. The unit cost and quantity for each item are listed in the table. In case of an emergency, the Chixi Pro BSF farm will be equipped with a fire extinguisher, and the entire cost of the machines and equipment is 14,429. Next is the Table 12. Table 12 shows the quantity and prices of each item needed in the arm for the production and operation. It consists of strainer, feed shovel, knife or scraper for the collection of BSF eggs, and weighing scale. The total cost to obtain these tools is 25,783.14. Next is the Table 13. Table 13 shows the prices and the quantity of the furniture and fixtures needed in the office of Chixi Pro BSF farm. The total amount of 72,367 is needed to acquire these items. Table 14 shows the land cost for a 1,200 square meter lot in 0779 Galamay Amo, San Jose, Batangas, where 350 pesos per square meter, and the total cost is 420,000. Next is Figure 18. Map of proposed location of Chixi Pro BSF farm at 0779 Galamay Amo, San Jose, Batangas. Next is the Figure 19. Figure 19 shows the actual lot at where the Chixi Pro BSF farm will be established. The total lot area is 1,200 square meter, and the proponent will only be utilizing 1,000 square meter for the farm. Next is the facility layout. One of the most important aspects in managing a business is having a facility layout. A well-designed facility layout provides the workers with easy and orderly work operations. Next is the Figure 21. Figure 21 shows the 3D view of Chixie Pro BSF Farm's floor plan. It is shown that Chixie Pro BSF Farm has 4 areas and 3 rooms. Within the farm is the receiving area, larvae area, dark room, adult room, storage room, solar drying area, and the processing area. And the whole floor plan is 1,000 square meter in area. Next is the Figure 22, the right side view of the receiving area. Figure 23 is the front view, 3D front view of the receiving area. Figure 24 is the perspective view of the larvae area. Figure 25 is the perspective view of the nursery area. Figure 26 is the perspective view of the adult room. And Figure 27 is the perspective view of the dark room. Figure 28 is the perspective view of the solar drying area. Figure 29 is the perspective view of the processing area. And the Figure 30 is the perspective view of the storage room.
As for our bill of materials, the table 15 shows the cost estimate for the construction of the Chixie Pro BSF farm in San Jose, Batangas. It includes mobilization and demobilization, earthworks, concrete works, masonry works, formworks and scaffolding, and etc. And for the total cost for building the farm is 3,435,819 pesos. As for the raw materials, the table 16 provides the raw materials needed in production of Chixie Pro BSF feeds. The BSF eggs will be the initial supply of the farm that will be purchased in the existing BSF farm. The cost to acquire the initial supply of BSF eggs is 25,000 pesos. In addition, the organic waste such as vegetables, scraps, and other edible waste will be the food of BSF larvae. The organic waste will be purchased and collected from the market, restaurant, and other establishment that produce organic waste. The cost of the organic waste is 30 pesos per kilo, thus the total amount to have these needed raw materials is 203,800 pesos. The table 17 is farm and office supply, shows that consumable supplies needed in the farm and its office, indicated in the table. It includes the disposable gloves, face mask, sanitizer, and etc. And the total cost needed for the purchase of this supply is 7,572.75 pesos. Next is the non-consumable farm and office supplies. In the farm and its office, these items are particulars quantity needed and equivalent amount of each item are also indicated. It includes cutter, scissor, sharpener, printer, stapler, with a total of 11,247 pesos. The table 19, which is the maintenance supplies, which are consumables that are necessary in the farm to maintain cleanliness and good sanitation. It includes glass wool cleanser, trash bag, and liquid hand soap are shown in the table, wherein the total amount needed to acquire these items is 2,748 pesos. The non-consumables maintenance supplies to maintain good sanitation are shown in the table 20. These items are broom, dustpan, trash bin, pail, water hose, first aid kit set, mat, and mop, wherein the total cost is 9,315 pesos. Table 21 shows the monthly and annual cost of the Chixie Pro BSF farm and the utilities for its operation. The electricity of the farm will be provided by the Batangas Electric Cooperative or Batilec. San Jose Water District will provide the water supply, and when it comes to internet, PLDT will be its internet provider. The annual consumption cost of the utilities will be 59,587.08 pesos. Then, waste disposal. In order to maintain cleanliness in the workplace, trash bins with trash bags are inside that are necessary. The trash will be segregated to biodegradable and non-biodegradable. The workers of Chixi Pro BSF Farm will use this bag, and when it's closing time, the waste will be collected and wait for the garbage collection of maintenance employee of San Jose, Batangas. Table 22 shows the needed manpower in the farm for its operation. Table indicates the number of each position and its corresponding monthly and annual salary and wages. The salary and wages rate of the workers are based on the salary rate in Calabarzon as per the DOLE website. The total annual cost of their salary is 1,535,804 pesos. The table 23 shows the Chixi Pro BSF Farm annual contribution to the fringe benefit for our employees, particularly SSS, PhilHealth, Pag-ibig contribution, and the 13th month pay incentive. The employees' entire annual contribution cost amount to 151,020.74 pesos. The table 24 shows the amount of advertising supplies required as well as the expenses of promoting the product. The total cost of advertising the product is 10,750 pesos. Shown in the table 25 are the permits and licenses requirements to operate the business and its corresponding amount. The total cost needed to acquire the permit is 28,750 pesos. And lastly, the table 26 shows the total investment cost, including the fixed and variable cost. The fixed costs include land cost, building cost, fixture and furniture, and farm equipment, which has a total of 4,293,883, while the variable cost total as 2,045,477.21 pesos, which are directly associated as raw materials and packaging expenses, salary, utilities, and other expenses. Computing the two expenses, fixed cost and variable cost, the total investment cost is 6,339,359 pesos